Okay guys, good morning. I am here to analyze the main important news of today's Hindu. One important news in today's Hindu is page number 3. Uttar Pradesh may approach Supreme Court for soon water minister. It is a news over the water dispute. Okay, water dispute. Bansagar Dam. Bansagar Dam is situated in on the Son River. Okay, Bansagar Dam is situated on the Son River, and a water sharing agreement has been signed in 1973 among three states, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Madhya Pradesh. Now the problem arises, Madhya Pradesh government is denying to provide water from the Bansagar Dam to Uttar Pradesh. Okay, this is a water dispute problem that arises. Now we will analyze how the news is important for our syllabus. The news is important from three points of view. One is geography, another is polity, and another is environment. We will see first how the news is important from geography point of view. You see Son River. So where the Son River originates? Son River originates in Amarkantak Plateau in Madhya Pradesh. Amarkantak is a pilgrimage town in Anuppur district in Madhya Pradesh. It is a unique natural heritage and is the meeting point of Vindhya and Satpura with the Maikal range behind the with Moikal range. Okay, this is the most important thing is that the point where Son River originates, is the meeting point of three most important another rivers. Okay, the origin of Son River is the meeting point of three another river. The two another rivers are Narmada, Son, and Johila River. Okay, Amarkantak Plateau, it is a plateau in Madhya Pradesh. From this Amarkantak Plateau, three river originates. One is Son River, one is Narmada River, and one is Johila River. It is the meeting point of three important rivers. Okay, and after that what happens? Soon originating from Amarkantak Plateau, it goes north and northwest, and it meets Ganga in Bihar as a right-hand tributary Okay, this is the geographical importance of Son River. In prelims, MCQ might come that what is the origin of Son River. Okay, there are three river originates in Amarkantak Plateau. If one is Son River, then what are the two other rivers? So the other two rivers are Narmada and Johila River. Okay, what we have seen that what is the importance of this article. One is from geography point of view. How from the geography point of view? Because the article says about Son River, and Son River originates from the Amarkantak Plateau. Amarkantak Plateau is the meeting place of two another rivers. One is Narmada and another is Johila, and the Amarkantak Plateau is a very pilgrimage town. It is a pilgrimage town, and it is also important from cultural point of view. Okay, and here Narmada Kund is situated in Amarkantak Plateau. Narmada Kund is that from where Narmada River originates. Okay, and the origin of Son River in Amarkantak Plateau is called Sonemoda. Okay, the origin of Son River in Amarkantak Plateau is Son River. Okay, and here another in this place in Narmada River we have seen in this place Kopilidhara waterfall. Okay, Kopileshwar temple. Okay, all these things are important from geography point of view. What is the important from this article? Amarkantak Plateau. Okay, it is the origin of three rivers, Son, Narmada, and Johila River. All these three rivers originate from this point. Origin of the Narmada is called Narmada Kund. Origin of Son River is called Sonemoda. Kopilidhara waterfall is situated at this point. And Bansagar Dam. What is Bansagar Dam? It is also another MC. It might come in prelims as an MCQ. What is Bansagar Dam? Where it is situated? Bansagar Dam is situated in Son River. Okay, and it has been shared. The water of this dam has been shared among Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. And recently what happened? The problem arises because Madhya Pradesh government has denied sharing water to Uttar Pradesh. Okay, then another important, and what is the Son River? Where Son River is the right hand tributary of Ganga in Bihar. Okay, the another important thing river here is that Kanhar. Kanhar irrigation project. Kanhar irrigation project has been involved among 3 states: Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. Okay, the problem is that people are protesting against this project because large numbers of displacement have been done by this river. Here the importance of this article comes from environmental point of view. Okay, then what is the effect of what is the effect of river dam, how it displaces people? Okay, what is its impact on environment? You have to search it, how the river dam project impacts environment as well as livelihood and life of people. Okay, this article is important from MCQ point of view. Banasagar Dam, Son River, Narmada River, Johila River, Kanhar irrigation project, Banasagar Dam, and Kanhar is one of the tributaries of Son River. Okay, these are important from the MCQ point of view. Okay, so while keep reading the article, mind this thing, remember these things in mind. And another important of this article is from geography point of view. In geography we have seen that interstate relations, chapter 14, all the Laxmikant books, chapter 14, chapter 14, the chapter is interstate relation, and the first topic is interstate water dispute 262 article. Okay, the MCQ in prelims might come related with this article. You have to see that what is interstate water dispute, what does the article 262 says, and another subjective type question might arise from this, that do you think that an independent water tribunal has been able to solve the problems of Water Dispute Act in India? Analyze it under recent phenomenon or analyze it under recent considerations. Okay, this is a subjective question that might arise from this article. Okay, that's why I hope this article will help you from 3 point of view. One is polity, one is geography, and another is important, and another is environment. Okay, and fourth topic is the culture point of view, because the Amarkantak Plateau, from where Narmada, Son and Zojila River arises, it is a very pilgrimage town, and most of the very famous temples like Sri Jabbaleswar Mahadev Temple, Kabir Sabutra, okay, Sunemuda, Narmada Kund, all these places are very pilgrimage places. Okay, where people comes for pilgrimage purpose. Okay, it is for cultural importance. And what is geography, culture, environment, and polity. These are the 4 aspects that has been carried by this article. From polity, how it is important, interstate relation, interstate water dispute. From geography, how the origin of Son River, Narmada River, Johila, Banasagar Dam and Kanhar, Kanhar irrigation project. You have to see who is dam is situated where, who is river is the tributary of who is river. For example, Son River is the tributary of right hand tributary of Ganga in Bihar. Kanhar is the tributary of Son River, from where Narmada, Son or Zojila originates, etc. and etc. Okay, and from environment point of view, I have already told you how what the impact of dam or impact of river dam in environment and in people. Okay, hope this you will connect all these things with this article. I hope this article will help in solving MCQs in prelims as well as in solving questions from polity in mains also. Okay, another important news in today's Hindu newspaper is page number 5, the puzzle of Pattanam's tubular jars. Okay, recently some tubular jars have been found in Pattanam. Okay, and these jars have similarity in shape and size to the same archaeological evidences found in Mesopotamia and South Arabia. Then what is the importance of this article? The importance of this article is that Pattanam, who is situated in Kerala, was a port in Sangam age. And that's why it is evident and it is clear that this article is important from cultural point of view. Then how we can analyze this article? How we have to see the article? We have to see the article that what is Pattanam, what is its importance in Sangam age. Okay, how it acts as a meeting place between India, between East and between the Western countries. Okay. The article says that Pattanam is identified as the legendary port Muziris mentioned in Greco-Roman classical sources. Many poems in Tamil Changam literature 3rd century BCE to 3rd century CE celebrate it as Mushiri. For instance, the poet Tayana Kannanar describes the port on the banks of the Kolyam Periyar. Thus, in Shehran's prosperous Mussiri town, the huge and beautiful Kukuli river flows muddy with white foam. The Yavanos come with their fine ships bearing gold and live with pepper. This paragraph, this paragraph is much more important and it bears immense value to the culture syllabus of your GS1 paper. Okay, the importance of Pattanam, the description of Pattanam in Sangam literature, Sangam poet Tayana Kannanar, commercial and trading relationship between Pattanam and Greek cities. Okay, importance of trade in Pattanam, role of Pattanam as a trading hub in Sangam literature. These are the main topics, these are the main aspects that has been portrayed in this paragraph. You have to search all these points, you have to search all these topics in net and have to prepare a note which will immensely help you in cultural point of view. Okay, and another important aspect that can be deciphered from this, it can be said that these tubular jars are one kind of pottery that have been found in Sangam, that have been found in Pattanam. Okay, then when we mention about pottery, we have to see that what are the other kinds of pottery that we have found in ancient history. So in first phase of urbanization in ancient history means in Harappa, what kind of pottery we have been found? Red and black pottery. Okay, in second phase of urbanization, that means the age of Buddha. In the age of Buddha, what kind of pottery we have been found? Okay, this is called northern black polished ware, and these are another, you can say, the another kind of pottery in Sangam ages. Okay, in IS exam, what happened? The examiner always asks the question behind the incident. Okay, that is why we have to remember that whenever we have found that it is a kind of pottery in Pattanam that has been discovered, we have to also relate what kind of pottery we have found in ancient India under different phases. So I already told you one pottery is red and black pottery. Okay, under first phase of urbanization, and another is just under second phase of urbanization, northern black polished ware. You have to make a note on these topics. Okay, and another some important questions that might arise from this topic is that I am giving you the questions. Write a short note of foreign influence. Write a short note of foreign influence on Sangam age. Write a short note of foreign influence on Sangam age. Write a short note of foreign influence on Sangam age. Then another question might come. Write a short note on the importance of Pattanam as a trading hub. Or write a short note on the importance of Pattanam as a cultural point. Okay. Then another question might arise. Write a short note on the importance of foreign influence on Sangam age as portrayed by Sangam literature. Okay. Then another question might arise. Who is Tayana Kannanar? Who is Tayana Kannanar? Write a short note on Sangam literature with reference to Sangam poets. With special reference to Sangam poets. Then another important term, the article has mentioned Yavana. Y-A-V-A-N-A-S, Yavanas. Who are Yavanas? Yavanas are actually described in Hindu mythology. Okay, they are mentioned in Mahabharata, and it is said that they were from Western countries like Greek, Rome. Okay. like Greek, Rome. Okay, they are sometimes mentioned in Madra, Kakeya, Kambuja. Okay, in this way, these Yavanas are mentioned in Mahabharata. Okay, these were in Mahabharata. It is said that they were from Western countries. Okay, then we can decipher that they were from Greek, Romans. Okay, and it has given us another information that the Greco-Roman influence on Sangam literature. So the another question is that write a short note on the Greco-Roman influence on Greco-Roman influence of on Changamese. Okay, then another important thing is that the Yavana is actually a kind of Hindu, is mentioned in Hindu mythology. Okay, they are actually mythological tribes. Okay, then another question might arise that note down the question: where mythology and history merges, where mythology and history merges, there Yavana appears. Where mythology and history merges, there Yavana appears. Under its guidance, narrate the importance of Sangam age. Okay, so I think this article will totally will wholeheartedly fill up the vacuum of your cultural preparation. Okay, if anybody is lacking in cultural preparation, it will give a new direction to prepare on culture topics. It has covered many topics: Sangam literature, its relation with Western countries, influence of Greco-Roman influence on Changamese, Changam literature, Changam poet, pottery, mythology, Yavana, what is Yavana. Okay, in this way I have tried to analyze this article. Hope it will help you, and I also as well as I also hope that you will prepare notes on all these aspects. Okay, another important news in Hindu, page number 7, China, the greatest political experiment. Okay, here this article has been important from three point of view. One is India and international relation. Okay, second is world history, third is economy, and fourth is comparison of Indian constitution with the constitution of other countries. These 4 points are visible in that in this article, that how from the international relation that China is building an artificial island on underwater reefs in the South China Sea. China is building an artificial island under the South China Sea. It is a very important news from the strategic and defense point of view. If it is true, then it is a very threatening, it is a very rigorous threatening not only to the concerned countries of the South China Sea, but to the whole world. And what should be the India's role? What should be the India's role as a strategic partner, as a strategic from the strategic point of view to China? Okay, that we have seen that China is extending Pakistan economic corridor. China is trying to make China is trying to rebuild the Silk Road. Okay, and another, the most threatening and most dangerous news is that China is trying to build a island under the South China Sea. This is a very strategic news. This is important from the strategic point of view. What should be the role of India to prevent such kind of aggressive steps of China? Okay, then another important aspect of this article is that the article says that China's economy is going down day by day. Why? Because cheap labor, lack of availability of labor. Before, what happened, the labors in China was very easily available in very low prices, okay, in low wages, but day by day the Chinese economy is showing downturn due to the availability of cheap labor. Okay, the thing is that the question is that whether China will be able to maintain its economic superiority in the world despite the lack of availability of labor with low prices. low prices. The thing is that here the important thing is that the writer says that the great helmsman Mao Zedong is clearly one inspiration, but the pragmatic reformer Deng Xiaoping is another. The importance of this line is that the political decision of Chinese Prime Minister, how Chinese Prime Minister will push the economic growth of China throughout the political decision. Okay, here the another point of world history merges here. The Mao Zedong, who is Mao Zedong? The Mao Zedong is the strict communist leader in China. He was in favor of strict regulation of all the markets, all the economic and all the political decisions. He was a strict communist leader in favor of strict regulation in all the affairs of the country. Okay. Then during his time, cultural revolution happens. Okay, cultural revolution actually made the economy of China very weak. Then after Mao Zedong, another leader come, and his name is Deng Xiaoping. Then what is the difference between Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping? In contrast, though Deng Xiaoping is also a devotee of communist ideology, but in contrast to Mao Zedong, Deng Xiaoping is much more pragmatic and liberal reformer in economy. Okay, then what we have seen, that world history merges in this article. Then how world history merges in this article? The difference of ideology between Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. Mao Zedong is the strict communist ideology. He was always in favor of strict regulation of state in all the affairs, including economy and polity. But during his regime, cultural revolution happens, and due to cultural revolution, Chinese economy saw downturn. Then under Mao Zedong, another leader came, Deng Xiaoping. Though Deng Xiaoping was also respected the communist ideology, but Deng Xiaoping was a pragmatic reformer in economic field in China. Okay, now why these points, why this line the writer brings out in the article? The writer brings out this article because now at this moment again the economic downturn shows. Economy is going to show downturn in China. Then what should be the political decision of the Chinese leader? Okay, the article says that the success or failure of president's domestic program will determine whether there is peace or war in East Asia. That means now it is the turn for the present Chinese Prime Minister to follow the path of Deng Xiaoping, who was a much liberal reformer in economic field. Means the progress of the current Chinese economy will be dependent on the political decision of the present Prime Minister, whether he will strictly follow the path of Mao Zedong and whether he will take some liberalized steps like Deng Xiaoping. In this way, this line here, this portion, two important aspects, two important topics of our syllabus merges here. One is world history and one is economy. Okay, the question arises that compare and contrast the ideologies of Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. It is a world history question. Okay, then another question is that what is cultural revolution, why it arises, and how Deng Xiaoping, how policy of Deng Xiaoping, how policies, ideologies of Deng Xiaoping help to averse the bad impact of cultural revolution. And again another question might arise that narrate the importance of ideology of Deng Xiaoping in the present context of economic liberalization of China. Narrate the role of ideology of Deng Xiaoping in the present context of economic downturn in China. In this way, different questions from world history and economy might arise at this point. Till this moment, what we have seen that there are this article covers 3 points from our syllabus. One we have already seen, the strategic point. Another is world history and economy. Then another most important point from this article is third point is that the article mentions about Chinese, the structure of Chinese society, the structure of Chinese, the provisions of Chinese constitution. Okay, how the Chinese government is trying to restrict the freedom of everyone. Okay, even it has reached such extreme stages that it tries to even regulate the culture also. Okay, it tries to regulate the culture also. And it says that another extends the definition of national security to include ideology and culture, with the formulation such as carrying forward the exceptional culture of Chinese nationality and defending against and resisting the infiltration of harmful culture. Means Chinese government is day by day trying to restrict the freedom of everyone. Okay, even it has reached such extreme stage that even culture, the word culture also comes under the regulation of state. Okay, even day by day, all the NGO, all the social workers, freedom of NGO, freedom of social workers, freedom of social activities, and lawyers are suppressed day by day, and now the word culture has also been included under the strict Chinese regulation. The importance is that it shows about the structure of Chinese government, structure of Chinese constitution. Okay, then it shows stark contrast to the democracy of Indian constitution and the structure of Indian government. There is a topic in GS2, the comparison of Indian constitution with the constitution of other major countries. Okay, then other major countries means China is one of the leading power at this moment in world. Okay, then a question might arise that compare and contrast the functions, compare and contrast the formation structure of Indian constitution to the constitution of China. Okay, that how the in Chinese constitution, and how China is restricting everything, every liberty, freedom of people, NGO, social worker, even the cultural aspects are also regulated China, and how India everything is democratized. Okay, how in India liberalization is dominant in everywhere. Okay, in this way this article is important from 3 points of view. One is strategic point of view, another is world history and economy, and third point is the comparison of Indian constitution with the constitution of another countries, or the functions or structures of Indian government with the function and structure of other government. Okay. Okay, another important news in today's Hindu, page number 10, international page, and a news is National Security Agency can no longer spy on Americans. It is a very important news. The article compels us to think the balance between the law to control terrorism as well as the human rights law and civil liberty. Okay, the balance between human right and civil liberty and the repression law for terrorism. Okay, here what happens, the USA Patriot Act. What is USA Patriot Act? USA Patriot Act was introduced in USA in 2001 after the attack by Laden. Okay, actually this act gives immense power to security agency to intercept any call, or to intercept any phone call, or to invade the privacy of citizens, for the purpose of controlling terrorism. Okay, it was hotly debated in USA because it is generally accused that this act actually breaks the freedom of civil liberty. And yesterday this act has been actually some provisions like 215 and has been repealed. Okay, now the another question is that the act has been repealed. Okay, but the problem is that in the absence of such an act, whether the USA will be able to control the terrorism that is growing day by day, it is another question. Okay, we have to find out the alternative solution, that how we can maintain, how USA has to bring out a terrorist law, bring out a law to suppress terrorism or any such kind of activities while maintaining civil liberty and as well as while suppressing the terrorist activities. Okay, the repealing law is good. Okay, but the problem is that the terrorist is growing day by day, that is why this problem, this threat also cannot be ignored. Okay, fine balance is required between both civil liberty and terrorist law. Okay, and another important thing is that here a term is used, lone wolf, L-O-N-E, lone, W-O-L-F. What is lone wolf? Lone wolf is a person, actually a single person who tries to perform some terrorist activities without the support of any people. Okay, without the support of any people or without the support of any organization. This term is important because if you remember the term and if you can use in your answer in UPSC anyway, then it will be a key term and it will increase your marks in the exam. Okay, then the thing is that we have seen the article that national security, the USA Patriot Act, who is provided immense power to security agency to intercept calls of civilians for the purpose of repressing terrorist activities, has been repealed. But the question is that how now, what will be the alternative solution to repress or to control terrorism? Okay, and in Indian context, we have there, it makes us to think about the National Counter-Terrorism Center. Okay, it is a very debated topic. What is national counter-terrorism in India? Okay, what is national counter-terrorism in India? Actually, this article brings a comparison, compels us to think. Okay, in USA what happened? This act has been repealed. USA Patriot Act has been repealed. Okay, but USA has a lots of technology. It's an advanced country. It can dominate terrorism. But what will India happen? What laws India has to bring out to maintain civil liberty and to repress terrorism? What will be the role of National Counter-Terrorism Center in India in case of dominating terrorism? Okay, in this way this article can relate your topic GS paper GS3. Okay, internal security, terrorism, etc. and etc. Okay, then another important news, it is to editorial, the blight of militarization. Okay, this article is related to with Sri Lanka. And this article actually focuses on two main parts of your syllabus. One is international relation, another is comparison of Indian constitution with comparison of constitution of other countries, and the third aspect is role of pressure group. The first thing is that here says that before this government, the Mahinda Rajapaksa government has deployed heavy army in Tamil majority areas. Okay, because there was a possible threat that the Tamil people might arise or might revolt, and they might revolt against the government. Okay, but after that, Mahinda Rajapaksa, it is seen that in the recent election there was a active participation of the Tamil people. Okay, this shows that Tamil people were now not anywhere ready, not anyway so much intensive. There is no probability of any revolt from the Tamil majority people. Okay, that is why the editorial says there the new government should think in a constructive way to demilitarize. Okay, to cancel the deployment of much army from the Tamil majority area. It will be a good signal for the government to initiate peace process in Sri Lanka for the sake of the Tamil people. Okay, it will send a good signal to international community also. Okay, then article points out some another important aspect. That article is yet to pass any proposal, okay, against the crime committed by army, okay, during the civil war. Okay, the article says that the new government should take initiate speed actions to find out the solution for such problem. Okay, it will be a healthy signal to whole international forum. Okay, it is this way it relates topic international relation, India and neighborhood, and Indian international policy. Okay, then another important thing is that here one line says that the second paragraph of the article, first line of the second paragraph, recent findings from the USA based think tank Auckland Institute, based on research and surveys done during the period, have pointed to hardly any reconciliation between the government and the Tamils. The line is important that Auckland based institute, it is a think tank, and there is a topic in your paper GS2, pressure group and think tank. Okay, then what do you mean by think tank policy? What do you mean by think tank? Okay, what is the role of think tank at present scenario to political or to political condition? Okay, what is the role of think tank in context of political problems, in context of economic problems at current scenario? Okay, in this way it relates another topic, pressure group or think tank in GS2 paper. Okay, these are the main important aspects, or these are the main important points from this editorial. Okay, what does this editorial say? This editorial actually mainly points and another most important point from this editorial is the comparison of Indian constitution with the comparison of Sri Lankan constitution. See, the minority is a problem for both the country. Okay, it is a pervading problem in Sri Lanka as well as in India also. Okay, then a question you have to prepare a note that what is the compare and contrast the constitution of India and Sri Lanka under the guidance of minority provision. Okay, compare and contrast the constitution of India and Sri Lanka under the minority provisions. Okay, and what possible solutions you can trace out to solve the problem of minority in both the countries. Okay. Okay, some another news in today's Hindu newspaper, page number 8. Chinese are looking at Kakinada through the prism of Shenzhen. It is a news where it is said that Chinese banks like China Development Bank and ICBC are trying to invest in industrial hub in Kakinada. Okay, as far as optics go, the Chinese are looking at Kakinada through the prism of Shenzhen, an industrial hub. Okay. The thing is that the article says that why Chinese banks are trying to invest outside India. The one reason it has mentioned that due to the cause of due to the downturn of Chinese economy caused by different factors, Chinese investment is outsourcing. Okay, Chinese investment is turning outside China, and one such ideal place is India. Okay, and another important thing is that there is a topic in our GS1, then major industrial areas of the world. Major industrial areas of the world. It is a topic of GS1 related to geography, and this article, Chinese are looking at Kakinada through the prism of Shenzhen. This article mentions about two major industrial hubs. One is India, Kakinada, and another is in China, Pearl River Delta Manufacturing Hub. Kakinada in India and Pearl River Delta Manufacturing Hub in China. These are the two major industrial hub, one in China and one in India, and it will fulfill the topic of major industrial hubs of the world related to topic geography in the general studies paper 1. Okay, then it is up to you. You will make a note on these two industrial areas. Okay, write a short note on these two industrial areas. Okay, and in the same page there is another news. Rape cases don't deter women tourists. Okay, with the increasing rape in India, it is generally thought that the arrival of tourists will decrease in India, but it does not happen. It is not happening as thought. But the thing is that how the article is related, it will help you to collect further material for your essay paper. Okay, that how the tourism is related to law and order situation of a country, how tourism is related to rape. Okay, how tourism is related with culture of a country. In this way, it will help you to think or to write something for essay. Okay, whenever you write an essay, if you find any topic, then you can relate this thing that law and order like rape, crime of women, crime of children is related to tourism, and which will eventually lead to economy and political situation of a country. I think, in my opinion, these are the important news that can help directly or indirectly to fulfill some parts of your syllabus. Okay, and we'll meet again with the Hindu analysis tomorrow. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Okay, and don't forget to put your comment in the comment box. Okay.